You gonna
I saw
tell
what
her?
you did in there,
Oh!
I said. She turned to me with an anxious look on her face.
Can you imagine? Oh, that's gotta be awkward, dude. Have you ever caught anybody stealing or shoplifting from a store? I worked in retail and grocery for years, and I've seen my fair share of it. Normally, it ends up very uneventful, and what they train you to do is just pay attention to the people and be very attentive, like offer them extra service, so to speak, so it makes them uncomfortable and they can't do what they want to do, because you could see it a mile away. When somebody is more concerned with what's going on around them than what's actually on the shelf, it's usually a case of shoplifting. And people try to do dumb stuff nowadays. But when working in retail, I've seen people try to change price tags over and all kinds of stuff. It's crazy, but I've never seen anybody I knew do that. I have seen a stranger before. Well, we caught a stranger before shoving meat in their pants in a grocery store. Can you imagine a whole ribeye pack in your pants? It's so stupid, but I mean, some people are desperate. At least he was probably hungry if he was trying to get some ribeyes. But you know, you don't usually mess with these people in a direct way because people are desperate and there's no telling what they could do. But I always imagine how awkward it would be if I actually caught somebody I knew. Can you imagine just like busting your friend in the store like, hey man, what are you hey, I work here, why are you stealing? You know what I mean? It's crazy. But even as an innocent bystander, you know, another customer seeing another customer, reporting that to the clerks or something like that, like, hey, somebody looks like they taking stuff on this aisle. I brought so many empty packages before to the store clerks, you know, like, hey, it looks like somebody just stole some razor blades. That's a high theft item, you know. I guess it happens all the time. But this story that we have today is about somebody who did just that. Do me a favor and head on over to Storytime Animated's channel. Click on the subscribe button, click on the notification bell, and if you like reaction videos like this, click subscribe here as well. Let's get into the story.
I was having a hard time in the beauty store trying to find the exact product my mom had asked me to pick up.
Oh, God.
There were so many items of so many different brands. I got confused.
I hate it, dude. I've tried to pick out makeup before, and even in Walmart, someplace that's not even a beauty store, the wall of lipstick and nail polish and blush and oh my God, it's very intimidating for a guy.
I should probably call her, I thought. So I took out my phone and dialed her number. I walked back and forth while the number was dialing. She picked up and I got the name of the product.
Hey,
I was
Mom.
very confused on my phone, so right as I was hanging up, I bumped into someone. I'm so sorry, I quickly responded as I looked at her face. I was awestruck. It was Maya, my crush from school.
Oh.
It's fine, she replied and moved on without looking at me. So
don't
I just
tell me.
picked up the product and
That's
went towards the
deep.
pay counter. But I wanted to have one more look at her as she was looking very pretty. I turned back to look and couldn't believe what I saw. Maya was sneaking some products into her bag.
Oh.
Not one, not two, but multiple small products that could fit in her bag.
Busted.
And when she was done, she confidently walked past me as I was paying and out of the door.
Wow.
She stole from the store.
Yeah.
I was done paying, so I rushed out and followed behind her. She was walking very fast, so I was only able to catch up with her in the parking lot.
You gonna
I saw
tell
what
her?
you did in there,
Oh.
I said. She turned to me with an anxious look on her face.
Can you imagine? Oh, that's gotta be awkward, dude.
Sean, she said as if she recognized me, you should return all that stuff and apologize to them, I said.
Right.
But suddenly she started crying.
Oh.
I felt a little bad for her, but couldn't come up with anything to say. I can't tell anyone because I don't want to go to jail. I'm not a criminal. I just have a condition, she added.
Oh, you
Either you
klepto?
tell them or I will. We have to do the right thing here, I replied. She paused for a while and gave me a strange look. Then she said, Sean, I know you have a crush on me. And if you remain quiet about this, I would go on a date with you.
What?
I was surprised. I had never expected that the girl I always had a crush on would want to go out with me. No,
Why are you even considering this? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. She's a thief. She is a thief. It doesn't matter if she's hot or not. Oh my God.
matter what the condition was. I was not letting that chance go by, so
Oh,
I agreed
gosh,
and we
Sean.
headed our separate ways. For a few days, we texted back and forth to plan for our date. We agreed on having a beach picnic as it would be good for getting to know each other more and talk.
And away from the products that she could possibly steal. Don't go anywhere where there's souvenirs, boy. She's gonna swipe them all and y'all both going to jail.
Soon enough, the day of the date also arrived. So I went to pick her up in front of her apartment and we headed to the beach. We stopped at a gas station. We thought we should get some chips, so we went inside the store.
Oh, no.
I was picking some chips when I saw Maya stealing some stuff again. It was a bit awkward for me, but I chose to ignore it.
What?
She walked right past the counter like before, and no one even noticed.
She ain't even buying nothing to kind of just like, you know... Oh my God, Maya!
Then I went on and paid for the chips, headed out, and we started driving for the beach. When we arrived, we sat on the sand and started talking. "It's such a nice view," she mentioned. "Yes, it is," I replied. We ate our food while enjoying the view. I was enjoying looking at her as well. She was looking extra pretty in the evening sun.
Oh my gosh.
After talking for hours, we decided to head back as it was getting late. I went to drop her off at her apartment, and she gave me a soft kiss on my cheek before getting out of the car. "Good night," she said, and I replied with a good night, too, and then I drove towards my home. A few days later, Maya and I decided to get dinner at a fancy restaurant. I thought since it was a fancy restaurant, she might feel odd to try to steal anything.
Nope. She's gonna take the silverware, I'm calling it right
But boy,
now.
I was wrong. We arrived around 5 in the evening for our reservation. Maya was dressed in an amazing red dress,
That she
accessorized with a
stole.
purse.
That she
Man,
stole.
was she looking hotter than an oven. Our reservation was already set up, so we went right in and ordered some drinks and food. We chatted for a while before our food arrived. After we were done eating, I noticed that Maya was sneaking the cutleries into her purse.
I called
I
it!
wish I could unsee that because I felt horribly embarrassed and couldn't wait to get out of there. So I called for the bill and the waiter came with the bill to pick up the plates. He must have noticed that some of the things were missing, but out of courtesy to customers, he didn't say anything.
Right.
I immediately paid up and Maya and I got up to go. She went out first. I walked behind her, but from the corner of my eye, I saw the same waiter making his way towards me.
Uh-huh.
I got so anxious and walked faster, but he caught up with me while Maya was already out. "Sir," he said, but I pretended not to have heard and kept on walking. "Sir, please take your change," he said again. And I could finally breathe a little when he said
God.
that. "Oh, I am sorry.
You
You
thought
can
you were
keep
busted.
it," I replied and hurried out and got in the car. On my way, I made up my mind that I would not ignore it this time.
Wow.
I had to talk to her. She needed to stop doing that. "Maya, you need to stop stealing. You have no idea how embarrassed I felt in there," I said, trying not to sound harsh. "I am sorry. It's a compulsion. I can't help it," she replied. "I know. You need to see a doctor then."
Yes. Yes. You need to see somebody because this can't go on, man. God dang, that's gotta be the most awkward feeling.
"Psychologist, it will help you," I said, trying to comfort her. She agreed. "Okay, I'll look for some doctors and see who's the best, and immediately set up an appointment," she said, and leaned in to kiss me. I was a little relieved hearing that, so I leaned in as well and kissed her. Then, I dropped her to her apartment and drove back to mine. During the week, I texted her a few times to check if she had gotten an appointment. "Hey, did you get an appointment yet?" I wrote. But she never got one. She would always text back with some excuse, like, "No, none of the doctors I contacted were taking new patients." I knew she was lying.
Yeah.
I couldn't understand why she was not willing to see a doctor if she had a condition that could send her to jail one day.
She liked it.
But I just let it go because I assumed maybe she was embarrassed to talk about it. The next time we were supposed to go out, I felt uncomfortable. I didn't want to be embarrassed yet again.
And you don't want to have her at your house at all. If y'all get around to, inviting each other to your house, can you imagine? Like, "Maya, did you steal my PlayStation? My Xbox was here yesterday, and it's not anymore." Oh, God.
So I thought I should call her to my apartment instead and just watch a movie. "Let's meet at my apartment for a movie," I texted.
She's going to take your
"Okay,
iPad, boy.
on my way," she replied.
She's going to steal
She
it.
arrived and we sat down to watch a horror movie. I had prepared some popcorn and snacks beforehand, so we ate our popcorn while enjoying the movie. As soon as the movie was over, it was time for her to leave.
You better pat her down, boy. She done stole your remotes.
So she left while I just hung out in my apartment for a while. But a little while later, I noticed the watch my dad gave me was missing, along with a few other valuables. I was furious. I instantly grabbed my car keys and stormed out of my apartment. I got into my car and drove to her apartment. When I reached there, I saw that all my things were there, along with other random stuff she had been stealing. "How dare you?" I said in an angry tone as I went up and grabbed my things. "I swear I was going to give them back,"
Oh
she
my
replied and
God,
started
dude.
sobbing. "Enough crying, Maya. I am tired of your shit. If you want to continue dating, you should look to improve yourself and see a doctor. Otherwise,
Wow.
we are done," I shouted and stormed off without giving her a chance to say anything. A few days later, I got a text from Maya. "I got an appointment," it read. "Great," I replied. I was feeling bad for shouting at her, so I texted, "I'm sorry for shouting at
soften
you,"
up now,
as well,
boy.
and she replied with a smiling emotion. Then I decided to give her another chance and invited her for lunch. We went out to get some pasta at a
Too
restaurant.
soon.
It was great, and we talked a lot. She didn't steal anything this time.
She didn't.
It was the
Girl, you better not steal my meatballs while we here. You understand? Keep your fingers to yourself.
only normal date we had without her stealing, and without me having to feel embarrassed about that. But after we were done eating, she told me something that totally ruined the date and my mood.
Uh-oh.
"Sean, I lied to you. I never fixed an appointment with the doctor," she said. I was so disappointed.
The heck?
I put up with everything and even gave her a second chance, but she just lied to me. I knew I had to teach her a lesson, otherwise she would never look to improve her condition. I didn't say a word for the rest of the time we were together, and we went our separate
Wow.
ways. Instantly, as I reached my apartment, I started contemplating ways to make her feel embarrassed for her
Uh-oh.
actions so that she can realize what it feels like. As I was thinking, my eyes went to the invitation tickets a friend who worked in a museum had sent. It was an invitation for the jewelry showcase night they were having.
Oh, no. He's going to set her
I
up.
thought. I knew exactly what I was going to do. So I invited her to be my date for the night, and she agreed, and even was excited about it.
I
I
guess
went
so.
to pick her up on the day of the showcase, and we reached the museum just in time. It was so beautiful inside there. There was hundreds of precious jewelry pieces in there, and at one corner of the museum, they were even letting the ladies try on some of them. It was a highly secure place with security personnel everywhere. Maya's eyes lit up,
I guess
seeing all
so.
those valuable and shiny pieces of jewelry.
Oh my
She
God.
immediately left me and went on to roam by herself.
Uh-huh.
A couple of moments later, there was a sudden announcement. A very valuable jewelry piece is missing, so we're going on immediate lockdown. Please stay patient.
Wow, dude.
Then all the windows and doors started to shut. I had seen it coming, and I knew
Lockdown.
exactly who took the piece.
Yep.
Honestly, that was what I had expected to happen in the first place.
Right.
The security personnel started to line up people to check each and every person.
Mine's in a
But
corner
I knew
sweating a bit.
all of them were innocent, so they shouldn't have to go through the embarrassment of being suspected of being a thief. I had to do something. So I went up to a guard and told him that I saw Maya picking up the jewelry, and I even showed them a photo of her.
Oh.
Yes, I pulled a 6'9" and ratted her out, but that was necessary.
Wow.
However, Maya was nowhere to be seen. She was not in the queue or anywhere around the museum. Had she left before the lockdown? I felt stupid, but the guard did take me seriously and asked the female guards to sweep around each and every corner of the place. After a while, the guards came out from the ladies' room and they
Oh.
had Maya with them in cuffs. She had that jewelry as I had assumed.
Wow.
She was so embarrassed that she wasn't even looking up at anyone. They took her out and handed her to the police. I never contacted her ever again. Neither did she. I could only hope that she changed her behavior after that event. Thanks for watching.
Wow.
So what do you think? Did I do right ratting her out? Have you ever had to date or deal with someone like that? What would you have done?
I have no idea, honestly. First of all, I would have never got to know her if she was like, if she really had a condition, it would have been taken a lot more serious than that if I felt obligated as a friend or even an acquaintance to do something like that. But honestly, it would be really hard for me to intervene with somebody that I didn't have a relationship that had that problem. Like, I don't know. That just seems really intrusive, and they have a way of life that's gonna catch up with them. And if you would have ever gotten to that point, I don't know if I would have reported them. Like, I talked about this before, but I had friends that when we were very, very young that stole books from a bookstore, and I didn't feel compelled to report them, but I didn't want to have anything to do with it. I was like, hey, that's y'all business. When people's safety comes into mind, I think I would intervene, but stealing, I don't know. I know it's wrong, but as long as I'm not doing it, I mean, I'm not a law enforcement official or security. That's not my responsibility. And again, when people are stealing, typically they're desperate people. And if they're capable of stealing something that isn't theirs, they maybe be capable of more than that. Not to say she was, but crazy stuff. Anyway, you guys, I hope y'all enjoyed. What would you have done? Let me know in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, guys. As always, this is Zueljin signing off, and we'll see you next time.